Okay, yeah, the Prime Minister is expecting that tariffs on Canadian canola will edge down in some cases to about 15%. These are tariffs imposed by China in return for Canada letting in about 49,000 electric vehicles from China each year with a tariff of just over 6%. Let's get more from the canola industry. We're joined by Rick White, CEO and President of the Canadian Canola Growers Association. Rick, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Now, I know as of this morning you are still seeking details. There's different types of canola. Of course, there's the seed, the meal, the oil. Can you give us any kind of breakdown on what stuff you are getting lower tariffs on?
Right. I'll start with seed, Andrew. That's by far the biggest component of the trade that we do with China. And on the seed itself, it looks like the deal is going to be that the tariffs on canola seed going into China will be dropped from the current levels of almost 76% down to 15%. So that's a significant drop and opening up the opportunity to get back into that market on the seed side. And typically we put about close to 6 million tons of canola into that market. It's worth about 4 billion. Very, very important. So that is good news. On the meal side, another significant contributor, I guess, to the canola shipments into China, and the canola meal tariff that was currently in place. That was a 100% tariff rate on canola meal as a result of anti-discriminatory investigation. So that has been zeroed out starting March 1, at least until the end of the year. So that is good news. On canola oil, nothing has changed in that area, but it's by far the smallest chunk. I'm not dismissing its importance, but the two big ones were seed and meal, and we've got some good news on that one.
And the canola meal often used as a livestock and poultry feed.
Right. Yeah, that's what it's used for around the world is protein, and it makes excellent source of protein, especially in dairy cows. So it is required, and China has heavy demand for proteins like canola meal and other meals of oilseed products like soybeans.
I know you don't want to be getting into any kind of a shouting match with the Premier of Ontario, and you wish automakers well in Canada, but what would you feel if somebody said to you, well, yeah, but there's an opportunity cost here. We're going to be letting Chinese cheap EVs in here.
Right. Well, we were the subject of that decision to begin with, the political decision to do what triggered all of this. And at the end of the day, we are focused solely on what we needed and what our farmers needed to get canola trade back with our second largest export market, which is China. What it took to get there was political decisions. What got us here were political decisions historically, and it needed political decisions to get this resolved. So those decisions on what the trade-offs were to get this are the responsibility of the politicians and Prime Minister Mark Carney specifically. He made the call, but we are very, very supportive and very thankful to the group of the delegation that went over there, that politically went over there, because that's what it took to get this done. So to others, I would say canola is a major contributing factor to the Western Canadian economy and farmers in particular. There are other ways to deal with other parts of the economy, and the Prime Minister has made his decision on that.
Can you give me an idea now? I believe our canola exports in 2024 were something like $15 billion altogether to all markets. What kind of a drop-off did you see last year with China imposing those measures?
Yeah, the futures price certainly weighed heavy on the futures prices, and that's not the only problem though, Andrew, because what farmers actually receive is a deduction from the futures price called the basis. And the basis levels had spread out even more than the futures had collapsed. So at the end of the day, what happened was there was significant value deterioration of the canola that was grown by farmers due to none of the factors that they normally would manage with normal markets and weather, et cetera, pure geopolitical risk here, and that's what happened, and that was what created the deterioration in the value, and that was the problem that farmers had all this production, it's in their bins right now, and the values were tumbling, and this deal will get those things back on track if we see canola actually being exported to China as a result. There's still a tariff in there, but we are very hopeful and optimistic to some degree that the success of this will be determined by the movement of canola, the sales of canola going back into China. So the value recovery can start now if the demand is open up enough now that we can get this product over there, and over time it'll even itself out.
Just remind me, how many millions of tons of product altogether would Canada hope to sell to China in a regular year?
Well, typically, like we've been up on the seed market close to 6 million metric tons. That was about $4 billion. And that was the latest full year that we had.
Yes.
And that's a lot of product. It's, it's very valuable. It's a significant part of our production, which is typically around 21 million tons of canola seed in this country. Almost 6 million tons of it went to China in the form of seeds. So
yes,
it's very, very important to us. And the U.S. market is our number one export for canola products as well. So we can't have problems with our two major export markets without having a substantial negative impact on the livelihoods of Western Canadian farmers.
I'm sorry, just remind me, in the States, have we had tariff problems with our canola sales into the States?
No, we haven't. It's moving in under it's CUSMA compliant, sure. And there's no tariffs in place. That's more of an oil market for our canola here in Canada. So it's crushed here, shipped across as oil, and trade resumes. It's very, very important that we keep that market open because that is our number one export destination for Canadian canola.
Rick, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Andrew.
Rick White, CEO and President of the Canadian Canola Growers Association.